All right, so let's do some more converting problems to help us get used to this concept. All right, so first one here says to convert the 0.851 liters into milliliters. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my structure, my picket fence, and then I have to think about how many milliliters are in a liter. And for this, I'm going to go to my concept that I started earlier. King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. My metric scale to help me remember the larger one's here and the smaller one is here. The unit in the middle represents things like liters, meters, grams, and seconds, those that don't have a prefix. So in this case, I need to look at how liters are related to milliliters. Liters related to milliliters. So our liter would be here at the unit, and our milliliters would be here at the M. So they are 1, 2, 3 away from each other, which means 1,000 for milliliters equal a liter. So as I set this up, I'm going to go ahead and put my given on the upper left, 0.851 liters on the left, and then remember that the units need to cancel. So I need the units to agree here, and at the end I want milliliters, so I need those units to be right here. So as I'm setting this up, I want to make sure I get them in the correct locations. And how many equal how many? Well, my conversion factor told me that. So I want to have 1 liter equal to 1,000 milliliters. So when I do the math here and I cancel, it's just like multiplying across. So I'm going to multiply across and divide by anything on the bottom to get my answer. So 0.851 times 1,000 is 851 milliliters. And that's the answer for that one. Let's try another one. In this case, I want to convert 17.3 centimeters to meters. So think about it. How many centimeters in a meter? How am I going to create that conversion factor? Well, if I look at my King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk and use that as my guide, centimeters are here with the C and meters are at that unit again. So how far apart are they? Only 2 spaces. 2 spaces means 100. So I always give the bigger one a 1 and the 100 to the smaller one. So let's set this problem up. Here I go with my picket fence and my given on the upper left, 17.3 centimeters. Units for the bottom, of course they have to agree. Centimeters and units for the top need to be the ones that I want to end up with ultimately. Alright, so now I just need to worry about how many equal how many on the conversion factor here. I'm going to use what I just found out. 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So what do I do with the math? Remember, the units are going to cancel. And I'm solving now, but instead of multiplying, I'm going to be dividing. 17.3 divided by 100. Divided by 100 means move the decimal to the left or use your calculator. So 0.173 meters. Notice it makes sense logically. Meters are larger, therefore you should have less of them. In fact, it's going to be 100 less of them. 100 times is what I have for the conversion factor. 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. Let's take and apply this in a larger scale, and you can see how converting works. It seems easy when you just have one simple conversion like these, and I know you've done them by moving the decimal before, but what if you had to find out how many seconds are in 2 hours? How would you go about doing that? Well, I would start with my work here, and I would start with my given, 2 hours. And then you need to have a conversion factor with hours on the bottom and the next smallest increment. So we know within an hour there are minutes, and we can work our way towards seconds. So I'm going to use minutes for hours. So every 1 hour has 60 minutes. So you see what I've just done? I've just canceled the units of hours, and now I'm working my way toward minutes. Next time, see, I still need to work my way towards seconds. I need minutes to go here to cancel, and the next smaller increment, within a minute, I can do the seconds. So how many seconds are in a minute? 1 minute is 60 seconds. So you see how converting works. What it does is it allows you, to change from one unit to the next. So I went 2 hours, and now when I multiply by 60, and I multiply by 60 again, I'm going to find my answer. And my answer is going to be in seconds. So 2 times, 60 times 60 is 3,600. Times 2 is going to be 36, and 36 is 72. I think it's going to be 3,600. I think it's going to be 72,000. Let me look at my calculator real quick. That'll help me. Let me go to my calculator. I think I have one pulled up here. Here we go. So I have 2 times 60 times 60 equals 7,200 is my answer. So let me go back and write that in on my screen here. 7,200 seconds. And that's how you do a more complicated one.